I'm
Okay,
looking into the screen again.
everybody is still watching.
Yeah, buckle up.
This is the ultimate spoiler warning. We saw the movie today. If you have not seen the movie, we will now go completely spoiler talk. Everybody who saw the movie is very invited to join us
Just leave.
chat-wise. With everybody who has seen it is welcome to join us in the conversation, in the speculation. If you have not seen the movie and don't like spoilers, go now, leave. This is your final warning. We are going in there, complete spoiler talk.
Let's start with a death toll of this movie, and also let's start with the opening statement. Yuri did not saw anything coming. We were just talking about the movie, and we were like, yeah, Tony Stark probably will die because, let's face it, Robert Downey Jr. is getting to a point where he is kind of getting older and all that, but the film just fucked us on that one because every twist which came was, my honest opinion, you could not see it coming. Which is amazing.
Yeah, but it was really like, Iron Man, they probably need to kill Iron Man. He already survived Civil War. I mean, I see it coming. They kill Iron Man. Maybe Captain America. I don't know. If they kill Captain America, then Bucky will take over for him. But yeah, Bucky,
right?
Bucky definitely not Bucky. They just build him up too much. Well, guess who survived and who didn't?
Everyone who Yuri had not on his list survived, and everyone else just died. But the thing is, also pretty much everyone else died. So let's opening with the following statement. Thor Ragnarok, forget that shit.
This was like...
Nothing was worthwhile doing in Ragnarok because everything is fucked.
I mean, okay, him unleashing his powers was necessary for Infinity Wars.
Sure.
But beyond that, all achievements, all they managed to do, all their struggles from Ragnarok have been demolished off screen before the movie started.
Valkyrie does not even get the dignity of being shown as dead.
Yes, but Valkyrie must be dead because everybody on the fucking ship is dead in the beginning of the movie. So Valkyrie must have been too. It doesn't.
I mean, at least Heimdall got his death scene, but he's also gone.
Yeah, the rock monster from Ragnarok just gone, off screen, dead, and the entire big climax of Ragnarok was save the Asgardians. Asgard is not the place; it's the people. Well, all done.
And not anymore. It is.
Yeah, like what the hell? This was like. Especially because I liked Ragnarok so much, and I loved it so much that basically seeing everything this movie achieved, except Thor unleashing his powers, got not retconned, but basically negated.
It was in vain.
Null and void.
All the sacrifices were in vain, and that's, I think, the second part of that movie was what does it actually cost you to get to your goals? That we maybe will talk a bit more with Thanos and what he plays a role in that movie. But for the rest of the cast, it was always the question, what does it actually cost to get through this? And for Thor, it cost everything. Loki is dead after 5 minutes.
Yes. Also, Loki, such a beloved character.
A staple.
Yeah, not just stable, but also a fan favorite. People fucking love Loki. And now he's like, they just killed him off like that. It was like, holy crap. And I like Loki.
Yeah, I was also pretty bummed about the Loki thing. Let's continue. After it toned down a bit, I would say. So you had the usual mashup between the characters. That was pretty funny. By the way, the Guardian of the Galaxy parts in that movie, top notch. Really, really nice pacing about the Guardian of the Galaxy stuff. You had the short music cue when they showed up and just fished Thor out of space, because that happens anyway. You had the funny, quirky moments with Thor and with the Guardians. That was amazingly well done. So the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff fitted right into the whole movie perfectly. And that was surprising to me after Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Which I
because they did all the stuff that, in my personal opinion, they did wrong in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They did it right here. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had the problem that everything was comic relief. Everything. They had Drax, who was always like ha 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 ha. Did the laughter that was so great because it was a single event at the end of part 1. But in part 2, he'd never stop laughing. Now he doesn't laugh a single time. Instead, he does this weird thing like, I'm moving too slow that I'm invisible.
Yeah, you have fish out of the water moments which are really good and really fun.
Rocket was not stupid anymore.
Yeah. You have also Quill. Quill really plays up in that movie what his strengths and what his weaknesses are. We will get to that a little bit later. But for the Guardian of the Galaxy, which I had the most concern about for this movie, Primo. Really good stuff. Let's talk about...
And Groot.
Yeah, Groot.
They did not play him dead this time. This was the thing with Baby Groot. I loved him doing the intro of Volume 2, but they never stopped. They just kept the camera on him, just milking the cuteness to the point where it was annoying and a nuisance to the movie. Here... Teenage Groot was just a side note, but still had his moments.
Overall, pretty good. To the part I, in retrospect, do not appreciate that much. Scarlet Witch and Vision. So the whole, I would say, romantic sacrifice story. So we posed the question, what does it cost you? It is always about sacrifices. So what do we need to sacrifice to just achieve a bigger goal, let's say? There was a whole, hey, Vision and Scarlet Witch are together now, and they are trying to make this work. The thing is, Vision has one of the Infinity Stones in his forehead, and he gets attacked by the henchmen of Thanos.
Other children? I don't even know.
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Those villains were actually pretty cool. I like those villains. They were not over the top. They were functional. It was pretty fun to just see them just pushing the Avengers and the Guardians around. Anyway, Vision basically...
It was so satisfying when the first one of them finally died. Because they were fucking undefeatable for far too long.
Yeah, they had pretty hard plot armor, to be honest. Anyway, Vision, the whole movie does not happen. He's just weak. The whole movie. And basically is actually the Prince Peach for Scarlet Witch to save. That was my feeling. Which is okay, but was kind of inconsistent with the depiction of Vision in the stuff before. I mean, that guy holded Thor's hammer. Just think about this. In Ultron, he just lifted the hammer of Thor, and now he gets pretty much pushed around by just two dudes. Anyway, it was not that big of a deal, but he also dies. So Scarlet Witch dies. I think we just counted Black Panther dead. All the newer Avengers, so Avengers second generation, so the dude with the wings from Captain America, Hawkman, he dies. Scarlet Witch dies. Winter Soldier, so Bucky Barnes is dead. Pretty much everyone died. Spider-Man was heartbreaking for me. Because he was the only one who was reacting as a normal human being, which is the strong point about Spider-Man, right? He's always acting like that, like the relatable character, the friendly spider from the neighborhood. And he was really just clamping onto Stark and was like, I do not want to die, basically. And that was, I was like, oh shit, they're really doing this right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Thanos wins in the end.
Which brings us to the question, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
I mean, I have...
And also, are those... Very short. are those deaths are actually consequential or not?
That's the question. That's the big question, because I have two theories that are mutually exclusive. To start with the theory that I would, on the one hand, love to be a thing just because of the scale of it, but which I don't believe in. The theory is that those deaths are consequential. If you look at the MCU timeline, you see that there's Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and then there are those weird movies in post-Phase 3, which are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Volume 3, and Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. And just imagine that those are fake. Just imagine that Marvel, knowing how the modern day ticks, how all information about movies that are already worked on and so on, how those information exist on the internet for everybody to find. Basically, for everybody who watched Gravity Falls, there was, I believe, during the second season, there was this fake screenshot of writing the journal. This fake screenshot. You see the idea. Producers out there know how the internet works nowadays, and they do stuff like this. And imagine that Marvel actually went there on a big scale and created false sequels, or the information about false sequels for Guardians as well as Spider-Man, to create the illusion that everybody thinks. No.
Smoke bombs.
Yeah, it will be reversed. Like, the Guardians will not just be Nebula and who was the other survivor? Rocket. Yeah, the Guardians need to have Peter Quill and co. So they will be revised, and obviously there can't be a Spider-Man sequel without Spider-Man. So yeah, just the idea that those two announced videos might be fake and that those deaths are actually consequential is, on the one hand, an absolutely scary thought, because I love those characters. But on the other hand, how else do you create a movie? Because the impact this movie had was amazing, was stunning. As I mentioned before, the cinema, nobody stood up. Everybody was rooted to their seat. Everybody needed to process. Not just us, everybody. And the movie was, even though it was 8 a.m. in the morning, nearly sold out. Yeah. And this is also why I assume that nobody on the internet, that so few people actually go out there and spoil. Because people understand on an intuitive level that this impact is something you need to experience, you don't give away. This is here's the other theory.
The other theory goes like this. Strange, also dead, sits down and just uses the eye of, hast du nicht gesehen, the weird green time stone.
You just German the poor audience.
I know. And just watches into the future and sees all the possible outcomes, and just tells everyone, hey, there's one outcome where we actually win this. And he gives up, in the end, either to save Stark, the time stone, while specifically telling the whole audience before, half an hour ago, hey, I'm the guardian of this thing. Yeah, Eye of Agamotto, thank you. I'm the guardian of this thing, and I will sacrifice pretty much you and the boy just to protect this. He gives up this stone, and he tells Stark, while he's dissolving into nothingness, that's the end game. It has to be like that. So now the theory would be, we are not even close to the end of the whole thing, and everything had to play out that way.
We are in the
problem.
1 out of 150,000 scenarios. Where
millions, even, whatever. Yeah. So, hi, Mr. Mule. Welcome to the spoiler part of pretty much the whole movie. One good thing about this theory is it would be actually cool to just see that happening, because then we getting characters back we like Spider-Man. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I want to see again, because that's the first Spider-Man I really, really liked. I did not even like Tobey Maguire's first one where they did Spider-Man. I did not even like that really that much. And I'm generally not the biggest Spider-Man fan on the planet, but Holland, amazing Spider-Man. Really amazing. I want to see him again. So The thing is, if they're doing this with this, hey, in Infinity Wars 2, let's say the movie is called, everything will get back. They will get the gauntlet and they will pretty much reset the whole death scene. I don't think they will do that because then actually the deaths, which felt pretty impactful, but also inconsequential because we know there's stuff coming, that feels weird. Because it was really, really that strong, but also, I mean, there are films coming with Spider-Man. What the hell is going on? That's the reason why we have this kind of theory, hey, they faked the announcements, right? I don't believe that as much because it would be a very, 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 very fucked up thing to do with the fans, but also it would be very nice because then for the first time we would have actually death counting in comic film movie thingies.
What about Yando?
Yeah, Yando. Yeah, right. I mean, I like Yando as well. Yeah. But the thing is, I think it will be like in Avengers 2, Stark and the old team gets together and they will just kick Thanos' ass. They will get the gauntlet and they will make a new universe, like a reset of specific characters, but not all of them, and we will see a new sacrifice. Because that's the whole thing about those movies. Thanos, as well, had to sacrifice Gamora, which he loved as the only thing he loved, to get the last Infinity Stone, the Soul Stone, I think, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He just sacrificed her, and now he gets the stone. So, and in the end, the question is raised towards him: what did you sacrifice? Everything. All right, was it worth it? That was my question.
And
for Thanos, apparently, it was.
And in the second, I mean, in the I saw that the second Infinity Wars movie, or the next Avenger movie, whatever it will be called, it's first of all, it's already post-production, so they probably recorded or they filmed it in one go with the first one. Also, it's done by the same guy, so it will be a very direct continuity, which it has to be. But they have a plan. So, and this entire theme of what has to be sacrificed will probably be continued.
Yeah, this time for Stark. Because Stark pretty much has lost almost everything. Thor has lost everything. By the way,
we have
cool twist with Peter Dinklage as Space Dwarf, which is actually pretty big.
Amazing.
Also, we lost Hulk, kinda. Because Hulk is now emo and does not show up anymore. So who knows what that's all about? I don't know. We will see. Yeah, but the fun thing is, so we will get Captain Marvel before Avengers. And after credit scene, Fury just gets dissolved, like half of the universe is getting dissolved. So it's not only the named characters are dying, half of the universe, just the coin is flipped and they are gone now. Rapture, boom. He just presses a button and makes a signal to Captain Marvel.
Who is not yet even in. Yeah, which raises a question for the Captain Marvel movie as well as the Ant-Man movie. Where will they fit in the timeline? Will, especially Ant-Man movie, we speculated that it will most likely take place during Infinity Wars, like at the same time, and might end at the same point where either Ant-Man or the Wasp or somebody gets dissolved, because at the end of that movie we reach the same point as Infinity Wars. Because we saw the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp before Infinity Wars, and it was a very happy tone. It had a very fun.
It felt like a proper Ant-Man comic relief movie,
which is good. But on the other hand, it doesn't really
fit.
It cannot take place after Infinity Wars, just a few months after Infinity Wars, when just half the population got decimated. It cannot.
Yep.
So it has. I mean, maybe they surprise us, but my feeling is it has to take place during Infinity War, like at the same time or something. And I could see it as a dramatic twist that actually Ant-Man or the Wasp at the end. Then Yeah, and then Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. Question is, will it be her backstory, like
It has to be.
doing a Wonder Woman thing that, even though we are forward in the chronology, that we go back in time and show her origin story, or if we actually do a homecoming and let her have an adventure beyond. But then again, we are in the same scenario as with Ant-Man, that she's just having her own wacky adventure between the two halves of Infinity Wars, which doesn't feel right.
Also, Captain Marvel is not as common to the wider audience as Spider-Man is, because she did not had a big blockbuster movie, so far as I'm aware, not in Marvel MCU at least. And also Spider-Man, the origin story of Spider-Man is laid out like Batman's is. You know, he's bitten by the spider. Bam. You do not need to show that anymore.
Big power, big responsibility, yada, yada, yada. You have heard it before.
Exactly. So it's already a cultural reference. While Captain Marvel, can someone tell me the origin story of Captain Marvel without Googling it?
I never heard of her before I saw her name popping up in the MCU.
Exactly. Yeah. Who is Captain Marvel? Exactly. So we need a combination, I would say. Either they're doing it like the first Avenger, Captain Rogers, right? They're doing the full get back to whatever and just show the adventure, and then she shows up in the current time continuum.
They actually did a Wonder Woman before Wonder Woman in the form of Captain America.
Yeah,
they actually did the setback in time before they then.
They did timeline. World War II Captain America. That was his first movie, and it was pretty decent. I liked it. It was okay. Also, props to Marvel to bringing Red Skull back. That was a blast from the past.
I didn't see it coming.
Out of nowhere.
But it completely made sense. Because
did.
He did not officially get killed. He got teleported away by the Tesseract. So it made completely sense. Oh, I see British Ninja also has seen the film. Snappy.
Nice.
Snappy is one way to put it, I guess.
Yeah, the pacing was so nice about the movie. I really liked it. Yeah. Yeah, so about Thanos, like we said, by the way, the actor for Thanos is also in Deadpool
2 as Cable.
Yes, he's Cable.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we're getting that crossover very soon.
It was amazing how Thanos got constantly shown as a very fatherly and calm and nice,
charismatic as hell.
Charismatic person. This was fucking scary.
By the way, the overall tone of a movie that I wanted to get off my chest was grim as shit. This genocide thing was not an off comment. Strange even talks to Thanos like, all right, you want to just make genocide all over again? The thing is, we saw shit in that movie which is pretty grim. Torturing Nebula, like, why not? Let's do that. I mean, she's half a robot, but still, the premise was like, hey, your sister is getting tortured right now, pretty gruesomely. And also showing a scene where half of the population of Gamora's planet is just lined up and, hey, let's gun half of the population just down. Because genocide, right? It's fun. I mean, it was in colorful fantasy-like pictures, and it was daylight with sun, but just put it in night with a little bit of fire in the background, and bam, you're deep in DMCU or whatever it's called, DCMU.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, then obviously, as we mentioned before, the Asgard, the entire saved remaining population of Asgard, all dead. Literally, Thor is the only Asgardian left in existence.
Yes. Because why not?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, there was a lot of grim stuff in there. So that was probably also why the movie had this impact. The thing is, I compared it to let's make a very unfair conclusion but imagine this, a parallel universe where actually Justice League would have been decent. Let's go with just decent. Still, the whole, hey, we're having a big end fight and battlefield and many showdowns at once and all that. Compare that to the Justice League attempt, and you cannot just admire the craftsmanship of this Marvel movie, this Disney Marvel movie, compared to the stuff Warner Brothers putting out. Because it's so obvious that they are just the better filmmaker. It's not only that, MCU is always behind, DC is always behind. I mean, that's not it. It's also just the technique and the craftsmanship behind the writing, the cutting, and also how you set up the shit. So that was really, really obvious to me this time. Because Steppenwolf and all that was also grim shit. But it was not nearly as impactful as it was with Thanos. Sorry, it wasn't. Not even close.
And I mean, yeah, in both cases we had an OP CGI supervillain, which we didn't really know a lot about before.
Steppenwolf?
Yeah, within the movie universe, I mean. If you saw the uncut version of Batman vs. Superman, you actually can see Steppenwolf, and if you are a super nerd, you could actually recognize him. I couldn't, I will be honest. Because they actually showed Steppenwolf with his helmet and everything in Luthor's vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does not. It doesn't even come close. And I mean, maybe it would be more fair to compare it to the first Avengers movie, but even there, they had not their literal Deus Ex Machina in first Avengers movie.
No, they didn't.
Nope.
That's also everything in universe is pretty much consistent overall compared to the stuff which is happening in the DC MCU universe. Is it DC MCU?
DCEU.
EU. Whatever. The DC crap. Just watch Superman versus Batman and explain to me how Batman, the smartest detective on this planet, is just falling for the crap which is pulled by Lex Luthor in this movie. It's not even funny. It's not even meme-worthy. Anyway, I do not have the impression in Marvel ever. Because pretty much everything follows the natural conclusion of all the characters. I saw a critique today over the internet like, yeah, this movie is just conga lining all the characters and all the tropes. And if you have not seen the movies before, you have no clue what's going on.
That's true. But
well, no shit.
If you go into a season of a show and you just enter the show for the season for the big finale two-parter episode and just watch the first part of that, of course you will not get it because there was a season of build-up before it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock.
So,
and this is the thing we can actually say that with the amount. No character, probably because we have been so familiar with the characters, no character needed to be shown off, and they could just interact in a way how we'd expected. And therefore
it was about the group dynamic, right?
Yeah, and it worked. Yeah. And I couldn't recall a single character where I had the feeling they got overpresented or underpresented. I mean, you could argue that
not even one.
That Vision, due to his role in the plot, got the short end of the stick. But besides that,
I mean, the thing is, I was confused why he was so weak because he was so powerful before. But in the end, still, it made sense because he has the stone and therefore he is the prize to protect right now. And you also have the emotional connection why you are not just killing him off and destroying the stone. I mean, it fitted into the movie. For me, it was more like, that's kind of strange. Why is he so weak? I mean, he was in Scotland pretty much instantly overwhelmed from this one dude. with a spear thingy.
He had a line like, "Yes, his weapon is interrupting my phasing," which made him very strong, that he could phase out of harm's way and stuff like this.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. It was also, like you said, the 4 dudes had pretty much instant plot armor for the whole movie. I mean, the sorcerer dude. One thing, the end fight, Strange versus Thanos, despite all CGI, obviously, really cool.
Yes.
I really love Strange even more. He's so close to taking over my love from Iron Man, which is still the greatest hero ever. Yeah, I love Iron Man, but Strange is, and also the dynamic between Stark and Strange was really cool.
I mean, they are beard bros. They are also awesome beard bros.
And obviously, they are pretty much the same character, right? I mean,
super genius.
Yeah.
Just super, one is in technology and one is in mystic.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had to butt heads, right? So.
Yeah, but it worked. It felt natural and it worked out in the end. The only peeve a little bit I have with the movie is like how many times the good guys could have won. That there have been moments that before Thanos went completely OP when he had too many stones.
Blame Quill.
Yeah, blame Quill, but then also Thor, where Thanos himself said you should have gone for the head.
Yeah, obviously. But at that point, it was already too late, as you said.
Yeah,
so.
But then again, having flawed good guys makes it interesting. If they all would be perfect and everything would work out, where would be the challenge?
The moment when Quill was just entering the confrontation with Thanos, where they had been pinned down, and everyone was expecting, okay, somehow Thanos will get out of there, or something will happen. And Quill is landing, and I was like, even in the cinema, loudly, just shut up. Shut up, Quill. For once, just shut up.
I can confirm.
And he did not shut up, and that was what we needed. And, I mean, what I would have liked is that he would have survived the movie to just play a little bit with his character flaw there. That could have been nice. But, to be honest, the next Avenger sequel will be a lot of broken heroes were brooding for a long time. I mean, Stark is literally with Nebula alone. Nebula.
She is happy fun time, isn't she?
Psychopath broody character we can find in Guardian of the Galaxy plotline.
Yeah, also, I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but so far Pepper Potts' fate is unclear. If she is in the 50% who survived or not. If he comes back and not even Pepper Potts is still around.
So Jesus. We will see the Tony Stark alcoholic thing maybe.
Again,
still.
from Iron Man 2.
All right, we did.
But in Iron Man 2 it was kind of wacky. They played it for wackiness, even though he was literally dying. But now it would be like serious shit.
Would make sense, right? We will see. So I cannot wait for Captain Marvel, actually. I want to see Ant-Man, obviously, because it's part of... And I like Ant-Man, and it's a cool movie, and it will be cool. It will be there. So.
And at least it will be out soon. July. But then with Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Infinity Wars 2, we have to wait an entire year.
Here, everybody. Buckle up. What I really, really also appreciate is now I can check social media again without scrolling frantically away from any trailer you can find.
And so. I can
but they also did a lot of fake trailer material, which I can appreciate. So.
But yeah, those were our impressions from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Good movie. See, watch it. I will tomorrow again.
Yes. Definitely a movie to rewatch, and I have the feeling it actually holds up because it was constant level. I mean, often enough you see something for the first time, and the second time you are like, oh, it actually was not so good. This time around, I have the feeling because it's top notch, the characters were good, the visuals were amazing. So
I will see more of the German version, so I can just tell a little bit about the German version, but my my lady I go with into this movie. She is not a big, huge comic book hero movie fan, so that will be interesting.
To return to the previous question, if and which of the previous movies has she seen?
Well, I will ask her, and
I will...
if she says not the at least Ragnarok and I would say Ultron and Civil War, I would say those are the three you should see before this. Otherwise, you will have no fucking clue what's going on.
And you will have to whisper the entire time, that's this character, this character, they had this history.
I mean, Ultron you have to see because of Vision.
Vision
necessary. Civil War because of a breakup. Wakanda, I think, is kinder also nice to have, but it's
if
not...
you have seen Civil War, but then again, the jump in Iron Man that his suit suddenly is nanotech is probably related to Wakanda sharing their technology.
No, because Tony Stark never was in Wakanda.
No, but they shared their knowledge with the rest of the world at the end of Black Panther.
Did they though? They made a social center in some slum in LA. I don't know if that's really sharing nanotechnology. Anyway, it was a cool suit. The suit was cool. Again.
Yes.
It's amazing how they every time can top this off with Iron Man. I love it. And I cannot wait to see broken Tony Stark in the next one. It will be horrible. Oh, the scene when he goes to Aunt May. Aunt May is still alive, and he has to tell Aunt May that Peter Parker is not coming back. Ooh. Hot Aunt May.
Also, we never got a conclusion for Aunt May discovering that he is Spider-Man at the end of Homecoming.
Did she though?
Yep, she comes in. He is still wearing. He comes in. He unpacks the costume and is like, oh, he has it back, and he forgot to close his door. The camera pans around, and you see Aunt May standing in the doorway, watching looking at him in the costume. It's like, what the credits.
Nice. Stan Lee cameo to spoil also the last detail. He's the bus driver.
Yeah.
When Peter Parker's school bus, when he noticed, hey, something is going on in the city, and he needs a distraction, and Stan Lee is just pointing out, hey, what's up with you guys? Did you never have seen a spaceship? Because New York in that timeline continuum, spaceships are a thing, which have been already there with Avengers 1 and all that. So, yeah. Well, yeah, go see it if you're into that shit. And it's depressing.
I mean, you probably already have if you're watching this.
Yeah. See it again.
But yeah. And for the people watching on YouTube, since this is a complete spoiler video, please go nuts in the comments. Give us your theories about the future. Give us your impressions of the movie. Just vomit it all out there. Here, for once, you are completely allowed to go spoiler nuts.
Yeah, don't tweet at us because other people maybe see our tweets and are spoiled without anyone want them to spoil.
Yeah.
So please.
I mean, I will see all the comments.
Wait 2 or 3 weeks with those kind of shit.
Yeah, I guess.
If you can.
Okay, everybody, this was, us sharing our deep emotions about this movie.
Was great.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.